everybody. So normally this would be the part of the show where we do a silly skit or a advertisement parody or something like that, but we recorded this in the outro after the main portions of the show, and a few things have changed since then. First of all, we got a new president. In just 48 short years, Joe Biden has gone from being one of the youngest senators ever elected to being the oldest president ever elected. Furthermore, we also got a new vice president, Kamala Harris, who is not only the first woman vice president, but also the first African American and Asian American vice president. Also, I got a haircut, just to show that time has passed. So stick around and enjoy the show.
Recorded in Round Rock, Texas, in front of a live teleconferenced audience, it's the What's Update with Xander Quation.
Season 2 Election Boogaloo.
Yay! Oh hey! Welcome to the What's Update. I'm Xander Quation. Let's get started. Before the election was called, Fox News distributed 2 memos telling anchors not to call Joe Biden president-elect, or use any of the president-elect graphics. Instead, they were told to say that, quote, Biden has enough electoral votes to win the presidency. Fox says this is due to Trump's lawsuits, but White House insiders say that once little Donnie hears this, they'll never get him down for his afternoon nap. Recently, a federal judge ruled that Trump can be personally sued for defamation for his denial of author E. Jean Carroll's rape allegation against him. Judge Lewis A. Kaplan of the Federal District Court in Manhattan rejected the Justice Department's attempt to step in and protect Trump in the defamation case. This means Carroll can move forward in suing Trump as a private citizen. Of course, if this citizen had kept control of his privates, he wouldn't keep getting sued. After the recent election, Oregon has become the first U.S. state to decriminalize hard drugs, including heroin and cocaine. Offenders will instead pay a small fine or have to check in at an addiction recovery center. Additionally, Oregon is the first state to legally authorize the therapeutic use of hallucinatory mushrooms. Next up, a petition to make their state flag blacklight compatible. In other election strangeness, Rolling Stone reported that some dominatrices were using their power to get their subs to vote blue. If their submissives didn't register to vote, they didn't get to finish. I bet it was something like, if you need a reminder of how you should vote, look at the color of your balls. In a follow-up to a story we've been covering here for a while now, Keith Rainier, leader of the Nexium cult, was essentially sentenced to life in prison. After being convicted of sex trafficking and other crimes, the 60-year-old Rainier received a sentence of 120 years and a $1.7 million fine. Seeing how this self-improvement guru self-helped himself to underage girls, I think he's probably going to need some guard help to keep other inmates from doing to him what he did to those young women. Members of the Court of Master Sommeliers, the Eagle Scouts of alcoholism, if you will, have been accused of sexual harassment and assault by 21 women. Of the 155 Master Sommeliers of the Americas chapter, 131 are men. I don't know about you, but, I'm detecting notes of patriarchy and, inappropriate touching. It's a vintage. Russia and Ukraine have fought over a lot of things over the years, but now they're fighting over borscht. A Ukrainian chef has filed an application with UNESCO to have borscht, a traditional beetroot soup, listed as an intangible part of Ukraine's cultural heritage. They better solve this soon before we have a repeat of the Middle Eastern hummus wars. Those wounds may heal, but you'll never get those beet stains out. Archbishop Wilton Gregory of Washington was recently named by Pope Francis to be the first ever African-American cardinal. Many see this as a step by Pope Francis to improve race relations and promote inclusivity within the church. But I also see it as a step to improve fashion. After all, Archbishop Gregory can actually pull off this red outfit. After winning by a landslide, New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern recently announced her diverse new cabinet. Of the 20-person cabinet, 8 are women, 3 are LGBT, and 5 are indigenous Maori people. including Nanaia Mahuta, a Maori woman who will serve as New Zealand's foreign minister. Mahuta has a traditional Maori chin tattoo and swore her oath in the Maori language. Not to be outdone, the United States re-elected an ancient constipated tortoise, and Miss Lindsay Elizabeth Graham debuted his Trump My Rump tramp stamp.
Yeah.
And now, science! A joint research expedition between the Schmidt Ocean Institute and Australian scientists discovered an Australian coral reef taller than the Empire State Building. The coral feature is more than a third of a mile tall and is the first large new element of Australia's coral reef system to be discovered in 120 years. Yeah, sounds like an awesome movie, like about a giant shrimp climbing the coral and then get taken out by stingrays and swordfish. We'll call it King Prawn. While they were down there, the probe also captured footage of a ram's horn squid. The squid has never been filmed in its natural environment before. Some say it looks like a burrito, but I'd say it looks like something you'd find in Lindsey Graham's nightstand drawer. Either that, or it's a Mitch McConnell fleshlight. NASA announced that they spotted so-called sprites and elves on Jupiter. The sprites look like 200-mile-long blobs of lightning with long tendrils, while elves are more disc-shaped. Alright, what's next? An unexpected hobbit on Uranus?
Ah.
That's bad. I'll apologize for that one. After a year spent drifting across the top of the world, frozen in sea ice, a German research ship returned home recently, ending the largest Arctic science expedition in history. The expedition was aimed at better understanding a region that is rapidly changing as the world warms. Said one member of the expedition, "We can't leave you alone for 1 minute! We leave and you have Australian bushfires, COVID and the Trump election! That's it! I'm done! Leg mich doch die ganze Welt im Arsch!" That one's for my homie. Thanks for watching. Ich liebe dich. We'll be right back.